Hi Sil! I'm gonna teach you how to make a Swedish sticky cake, kladdkaka. So first you're gonna do is start off with the butter. And you're gonna need 100 grams of butter. So just cutting it up and putting it in a pot on the stove on a low temperature. And I'm gonna take just a little bit extra, like so, to put in this form. And while we're waiting for the butter, I'm gonna take 2 eggs, crack them, pick up anything that falls in from the whatever it's called. Shell, thank you. Put the second one in. It's time for the sugar. Many recipes call for 3 deciliters of sugar, but I find that it gets a bit too sweet. And since we made Easter candy yesterday, I'm gonna take some of the chocolate from that that's left over, that already melted a bit. Melting chocolate, I know you know all about. So I'm taking 2.5 instead of 3, because the chocolate is obviously sweet as well. So here I'm gonna whisk this, and the more you whisk it, the more of a surface you will get on top. It's not really necessary, it just depends on how you want it to end. Hey, Mommy's baking. Okay, I think that will be enough. You don't need to make it as much as when you make a bun cake. There. Now I will add the flour, which is gonna be about 1.5 deciliter of flour. And then I'm adding a teaspoon of vanilla powder. Some people might sift this in and make it a little bit complicated. I'm not gonna do that. Then we have the cocoa powder, and we'll take about 4 tablespoons of that. And where is it? There. I'm just gonna stir it slightly, a little bit, so that the upper ingredients get mixed, not so much with the eggs, but with each other's. You can obviously do that in a separate pot before if you want to. This is about 80 grams of dark chocolate that I already melted in the pot on a low temperature. I did not make a water bath. Just be really careful and keep track of it. I'm gonna use a brush, since the butter is still not melted all. I'm gonna just take the part that is and prepare this baking tray.
Baking form, baking tray.
Baking form, baking tray. there. You can take either grated coconut or just breadcrumbs. I'm using a old sort of baking form that has a thingy that you turn around, and then you can get the cake loose anyway. But and the oven I've turned on about between 150 and 175. The lower temperature, the longer in the oven. Pouring the butter in. Since I'm adding the chocolate, I find it often easier to let it rest a bit after, not eat it immediately, because the chocolate, when it cools off, it will be more, obviously will help the cake to set. There. There. There you have a nice brown chocolate batter. Put it in the middle of the oven. If you don't have a middle, just put it a bit lower than the middle. And now you wait for 15 to 22 minutes, depending on how gooey you want your sticky cake. Thank you so for listening. And now it's been about 17 minutes. I'm gonna check on the cake. I think I'll take it out actually. This looks like it's gonna be quite sticky. But that's what we're after. See? So I'm gonna let it rest for a little bit, then we're gonna cut a bit so you can see what happens when you cut it when it's still warm. And then we're gonna cut it again tomorrow, and you can compare the difference. See how it looks then when it's even cooler. And it smells divine. Okay, so I'm not the most patient today, so it's been resting only 5 minutes. It would probably have been nicer if it had been 20. This is how sticky it is. See? Gooey, gooey, gooey cake. You can really see how sticky it is, and you see it had to wait about 5 more minutes now, and you can see that it already has set a bit more. So it's cuts clean now and it doesn't ooze out in the same way. So about 10 minutes is about the time that you really should wait for it to taste. And then we'll see tomorrow the difference. But enjoy! And voila, it's tomorrow and we're gonna cut the cake for the second time. As you see here, you can see the goo that spilled yesterday, and now when I cut it, you can see that the cake is much more firm. It's even so firm that I can hold a baby on one hand and cut the cake with the other and still get a nice piece. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Classic sticky cake. Yum.